Hi, morning, Andrew. How are
Good.
things?
Good morning, Peter. I'm fine. How are you?
Wonderful, thank you. Wonderful. It's great to see you this morning. So, would you mind telling me a little about you and your business, please, Andrew?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I'm Andrew Hamilton. I'm the MD of Shout Blue. We're really a marketing services and software company that specializes in client acquisition and retention. We've been running now. I think the actual Shout Blue brand was created in 2019. And I did a few years before that as just a marketing consultant. But yeah, so been running a while now and exciting times.
So, client acquisition, yeah, you've got my attention. Tell me a little more about that.
Sure. Well, as part of our business amplifier program that we offer, what we do, we generate leads for clients basically in a lot of different industries. We put them through our system. We're able to say, for example, you were looking for electricians in Belfast or whatever. We can get out a nice list of leads for our client in that regard. But we then tend to take it a step further. Rather than just getting out this list of emails and phone numbers, a cool list, we tend to nurture that list for our clients as well. We do that through creating a custom sort of sales funnel. And we will actually go ahead and contact these leads before they get to our client with emails and maybe set up sales pages or whatever else, just to nurture them, just to warm them up. And when we get to a point after qualifying them that we know that they're absolutely a good fit for our client, and they probably actively said that they want to hear more, then at that stage, we'll send an email through to the client with a very hot prospect rather than a cold lead for them to follow up. And that can be very, very powerful. So that's a
that sounds very interesting. Everybody prefers a hot prospect to a cold one. So that's very good. So tell me, which business leader inspires you the most, Andrew?
Yeah, this is going to be a fun and probably quite controversial because I know we got a bit of bad press a few years ago, but it would actually be James Watt, who is the CEO and founder, one of the co-founders of BrewDog. So I used to be quite into the craft beer sort of industry myself a number of years ago. I did a bit of blogging and stuff. But I remember just, he actually has a book out. I think it's called Business for Punks, maybe. But it's brilliant. I had the audiobook of it. And I'm a marketer through and through. And watching exactly how BrewDog grew from being two guys and a dog in a shed to where they are now. It was really, a lot of it was down to their experimental marketing and having the balls to go out and actually do things that would catch people's attention and that would really, get them the press. A lot of people would argue that they're a wee bit too crazy in some of the things they do, and it's a bit for show. But to be honest, I think the results show them all. They did it very, very well and continue to do their marketing very well, and I've always just admired them for that. So yeah, I'd highly recommend that book as well, by the way. Business for Punks. But yeah, James Watt from BrewDog.
Brilliant. Yeah, the BrewDog story is a really interesting one, and I know it's been quite spicy recently as well as a development. But we'll let people go and have a look at that for themselves. But yeah, he's a really fascinating guy. What would you say is the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Oh goodness, I don't know if I've got an actual name of someone who gave it to me. I probably put it down to my parents, maybe. But I would say just treat others how you'd want to be treated yourself. Show a bit of respect for your fellow human. I think if there's too much in this day and age where people just do things and don't think about the effects it could have on other people. And I think if you're a bit more considerate and treat people nicely, then we'd be in a much better world if everyone did that. I'd be a very big believer of that.
Good stuff. That sounds like solid advice to me. And who's the first person that springs to mind whenever I say the word success to you?
Success. Oh goodness. Well, yeah. I don't know if he's the most popular choice or not, but I would actually say Bear Grylls. I've always been a big fan of his. I'm very much the outdoor type. I like to do hiking and wild camping and stuff in my spare time, and I love his whole story. I've read his books a few times, and seeing from where he came from, and it's just the true grit that he kind of has to get himself what he wants in life, from becoming a reserve in the SAS and passing all those training to climbing Everest, for goodness sake, and then taking his career where it's gone. And for goodness sake, now look at him, he's multi-millionaire living on an island in Wales, I mean, how cool is that? So I just think fair play to him. He seems like a pretty nice guy as well, which also helps,
Yeah, he is an interesting and quite an inspirational. Isn't he the head scout as well? Is he the
That's
chief
right.
scout? Yeah.
Absolutely. No, my wee boy's 5, loves watching his programs, and I think he's getting more interested in becoming a scout now as well when he's old enough. So yeah, all good.
Follow your dreams. Follow your dreams. And
That's the way.
what would you say, Andrew, are your top 3 qualities as a business owner?
Oh, mine. Oh, goodness. Well, I'm quite a strategic thinker. I really like to get deep into the strategy of things. A lot of my marketing work that I do, I love the meetings with clients where I can sit there and really drill down into where maybe their issues are, and how we can best tackle, if we would need to get them in more clients or whatever, what we can do, and very deep on that sort of thing. I love a wee bit of strategy and thinking. Another one, I guess, creativity as well. I like to do things a bit different. We kind of talked about it there with the whole BrewDog thing. There's nothing I love more than finding out what kind of trending pretty well, but then putting, a personalized spin on it, creating something for a client that's really going to get eyes on the page and it's really going to, make them stand out and do something different. I love the whole woo factor, and yeah, there'd be that. Thirdly, I guess just honesty. I think being honest with yourself, what you can achieve in business, what you can do for your clients, and vice versa. I know certainly a number of occasions in the past I used to specialize in Facebook marketing and became pretty good at that after months and months and months of honing it. And there'd be sometimes you would speak with a potential client and you would just know, you would see the product that they're trying to sell, you'd know the industry they're in, and you would just know in your head, listen, this isn't going to be for them. And you could have one of 2 avenues you could take. You could be the person who just goes, oh, well, sure, we'll give it a go. And, it might cost them thousands of pounds in ad spend or whatever else in your time, and know that you might not get the results. Or you could be honest and go, do you know what? I don't think this is for you. I don't think it's going to work for your product, whether it's through the pricing off at the market they're in, whatever else. And just be honest enough to hold your hands up and say, personally, I'd recommend you do a different route. Maybe you go with this other alternative or whatever else. And I think that's hugely important. So there you go.
Brilliant. And who would be your ideal customer?
Oh goodness, I love ambitious business owners, especially ones who are kind of honed in with technology and they aren't afraid to do things a little bit differently. I love that. I could honestly sit and chat with them for hours. I love it whenever we get a new client in who's someone who's just really open to what we're doing and what we can do, especially with our software and the systems. And it's much more difficult if you get someone who's always done it that way, for so many years, and then, this has kind of worked for us in the past and we don't want, and that's a bit too, and it's just, that's more difficult. It's lovely when you get a breath of fresh air, someone who's on the same wavelength, and you can really riff with them about what you can achieve, with them for their business. Love it.
And what does Shout Brew, what does your business look like in 5 years' time?
5 years' time? Well, I'm not one of these people who's, thought about world domination. I don't particularly want to be running a huge, massive business, with multiple offices and loads of employees or anything. I quite like the idea of a small team. I can do an awful lot of my work remotely as well, which is great. But I like the idea of being able to have more people in working that will allow me to do more of the work that I enjoy more, which would be the strategy side of things, meeting with business owners, strategizing with them in a meeting about what we can do, and then really building and really coming up with creative ideas for them. A lot of the time now there's the sales part. I'd love to get a good salesperson in who can, take that side of things. And there's the technology side. I tend to get very involved in that, the setup side and everything too. I want to be in doing the nitty gritty. I wanted to be doing the strategy work and the client work. And I'd say that's where it'll be. So small team still, but doing pretty well.
And I know you mentioned the James Watt book earlier on. Are there any other books or podcasts that have struck a chord with you that you would recommend?
Well, I love books. I love audiobooks, to be honest with you. That would be my choice. I listen to them all the time. I always get a big yearly subscription to Audible and just go through them. And I'm very much a fan of kind of non-fiction. I love business books. I love biographies, self-help type things. I love always learning. But the book I'm going to recommend to you is none of those. It's actually it's a fiction one, but it's got quite a sort of important part for me. I remember I got this book just after I handed in my resignation in corporate times to leave the corporate world, and it's called The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, and it's just a lovely book. It's quite easy to read. It's nearly like a parable, but I don't want to ruin the story, but it's of this young shepherd boy and all the trials and tribulations he goes through to achieve his personal legend, as he calls it, which is more like his major objective in life. And it's just lovely. It's very well written, and it's just a really pleasant book, real uplifting one. I usually try to read that about once a year anyway, but that's, yeah, I'm going to recommend that one.
Brilliant. Yeah, The Alchemist is a great book, great recommendation. And what's the biggest challenge that you're currently facing in your business, Andrew?
The biggest challenge, well, what we offer and the sort of systems we offer, it's a tie between, we do actual marketing services, but there's also our software that backs that up as well. Software is difficult because there's a hell of a lot of features. You could talk about features all day, but you're very aware that a lot of your clients or potential clients really don't want to listen to that. They want to know about more what it achieves. And it's that difficulty of trying to help them to understand the impact we can actually have on their business without getting into too much tech speak and detail. And so I guess it's promotion at this moment in time, and just promoting our services to a level that, you know, people will really understand them.
And speaking of promotion, if somebody wanted to get in touch, or I really like the sound of this warm lead generation. So tell me a little bit more about that, and how people could get in touch, and any enticements that you might have up your sleeve.
Sure thing. Sure. And well, as a bit of a summary of it, so basically our business amplifier program, this has been set up. It uses our software. And as I say, it's got three main sort of factors to it. It's lead generation, where we use our piece of software, which we call Elite Leads, to, as I said earlier, we get a whole load of cool leads out of that. Then we take them into our system. We build out sales funnels all on behalf of the client. We work those through, nurture them through, then we send them on to the client, so as hot prospects. And then after that, as part of our system, we then will look after those new clients for our clients as they go through the life cycle. We'll basically keep them engaged with the brand. We'll send them out emails. It could be newsletters as well, birthday messages. We basically keep them up to date with what our clients are doing. This has a big impact. It keeps the brand fresh in their mind. It keeps them loyal to the brand. It keeps them coming back for return business. Hopefully it helps with referrals too. And we'll even approach them to try and get better and more reviews for the business as well. So it's all this complete package. It's a monthly cost, and they can cancel at any time. So it makes it really simple. But what I would do today as a special offer, just for listeners here, to give them a little bit of a chance of what we can do with this lead generation, I would be prepared to put up a sales page that you can all go to, and it would be to give 20 free leads to any business owner who wants to come on and give it a wee try. They just have to listen to a bit more about the service that we offer, and then see for themselves. We'll put together 20 leads for them totally for free. They can use them as they want, and who knows, they might get some free business out of it. I hope they do. And yeah, maybe give them a bit more of an insight as to the business amplifier and what we do.
Brilliant. And where's the best place for them to go to be able to see that?
Sure. Well, I've actually put up, I mean, our website itself is shoutblue.com, but I've put up this particular page, which is a bit more complicated. Maybe we could circulate it after as well, but it's amplifier.shoutblue.com, and then it's a /business-spotlight-offer. Simple as that. Okay. And yeah, it'd be great. I'd love to chat to people and other business owners to see, you know, how we can help them.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Very kind of you. And yeah, look, it sounds exciting. And so Andrew Hamilton from Shout Blue, thank you very much for your time this morning. Thanks for telling us your story and the exciting opportunity that exists for people if they get in touch with you. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Peter. Cheers.